Good morning. Well, here we are. I hope that you are well this morning, and at least if you have been ill, that you're getting better. And I decided that it would be quite nice for us to learn about some psychic abilities that we have, and I was going to present string reading. Now, I've held many workshops in my time, as you can imagine, and string reading was always the one that was the most fun, really. I think all of it was fun, but psychic work is fun because everybody can have a go at it. It's not dangerous or anything, and so do put away from yourself all those sort of superstitious gobbledygooks that you get told about. And we're all psychic. We're all psychic beings. So if we weren't, we wouldn't be able to survive this life at all. So I don't know how many people are sort of up and about at this time. So I have no idea that anybody apart from you is watching. And I shall proceed. First of all, I will say that any kind of spiritualist practice that's associated with spiritualism, that is, like psychic work, and doing workshops which basically are helping you to hone up your psychic skills that are inborn in you. We always have to make an affirmation or prayer, whichever suits your particular belief system. As spiritualists, we say everything that we do, dear Lord, is done in the name of truth and love and in the light, and only for the good of others. There, and then you're nicely protected from all the umnagatis, as Charles Dickens called them, and I do too, the nasties in the world, that walk about. On the spirit side, of course, there are plenty of nasty people on the earth, unfortunately, but and similarly there are on the other side as well. But we protect ourselves down here from them by physical means, and on the spiritual side of life, spiritual means. And what I always say is that as soon as you wake up in the morning, you should say a prayer of thanks. I always do, and you're sort of getting God on your side, if you like. And the Great Spirit does not mind being bothered in that way at all. Now, I talked about string reading, didn't I? Well, I ought to say I've written about it, so there is a description of it in my book, which is, we'll grab this one, it's this one, the Spiritualist Handbook, and this workshop is on page 292, so that's after a spiritual meditation is given to you. So if you have got the book, then page 292, you will see a brief description of string workshop, string reading, methodology. Now, the thing is, if like me, you can never find a ball of string when you want one, you can always use a lace. Now, I have this lace here to show you, because I couldn't find string either. And I have this lace to show you, which is a boot lace. So, I mean, this is, you could have a go with one of these this long if you wanted, but when I show you how you do it, you may be loath to actually use anything of this length, unless somebody's about 100 years old and has come for a reading. Now, so we'll use this one, which is just an ordinary lace. Skate laces are a bit long as well, but you can use them. Now, how do we do this? It's quite simple. What we do, we take the lace, and before we start on actually what we're going to do, what I can say to you is you can always get friends to actually give readings to, because you can tell them that you've suddenly got these sort of magical properties, and you're very psychic, and you can give them a reading from a piece of string. And if you want to, you can sort of make all sort of heebie-jeebies around it. You know, you can light a candle and sort of have it fairly darkened and everything. I mean, it's just a joke. You don't have to have all that at all. Here we are sitting here first thing in the morning. I've just had my little bit of brekkie, crackers, you are what you eat, and my cup of tea. And I hope that you're also nourished as well today. We shall embark now upon this string reading. Now, it's really about the length of time that the person you're giving the string reading to has been on the earth. So if unlike me, you have an advantage. You will have a friend with you, or somebody that you've managed to inveigle into having a string reading from you, in front of you, so you will know roughly how old they are. And what you do, you take one end of the string, here we are, you take one end of the string as the beginning of their life and the other end of the string as where they are now. So if somebody is, say, about 50 years old, you say that's their birth, the middle is about 25-ish, and the end of it is about 50-ish, which is where they are now. Now, what you can do, you see, you don't have to at all, but you can say to them, now, here is the string. Right? Now, you give it to them and you say, hold it in your hands like this and concentrate on it, because it's rubbish, you know. Concentrate on it, and you'll be putting your energy into the string to allow me to read it for you. So, and as I said, you can have any kind of sort of stage dressing or anything that you want, you know, candles burning and incense, you know, dimly lit room. However, here we are in broad daylight in the morning with none of that. It's just a bit of fun. Now, of course, the danger stalks where people think it's not just fun and start getting into all the other stuff. We won't go there. Now, I shall demonstrate to you, obviously, how we can do it. I hope you're all enjoying this and paying attention, and I shall ask questions afterwards and give you ticks or crosses against it. No, not really. Now then, so here we are. We're all sitting comfortably, and we all have our piece of string, which is about, you know, I don't know, 18 inches long or something. We have our bootlace, if we're very unlucky, which is very long. We can have a go at that. But and then you get somebody to hold it like this, or you can hold your own, you see, like this. And then what you're supposed to do is throw it. Now, you can't see, I don't think, what I've got. I wonder if I can show you in some way how this string looks to demonstrate to you. Now, look at that. Now, say that I'm reading this for a friend. I'll be saying good morning to everybody on block, as it were, because I'll try and concentrate on what I'm doing so I can explain what we're doing here. We'll decide that this is where the person has come into this world, and the other end here is where they are at the moment, okay? So as we read this for somebody, right, we are in tune with our solar plexus, with our intuition, of course. You can't do it without your intuition, and that is your psychic ability. So look at this. I will say now. Shall I? Oh, I see. Yes, all right. What I'm being told by my helpers, as you know, I can't do anything without them on the other side telling me what to do. But you don't have to worry about that. Fortunately, or maybe you do if you're also a medium. But never mind. We'll skate over that one. This is just common or garden psychic work. So. Here somebody has come into the world. Who shall we pick on? Should we pick on somebody? I'll pick on someone to do a sort of test reading. Oh, I know what. I'll pick on Kathy. She's actually in the other room, but she may just be watching this. So I'll pick on her. Now then, this is where she came into the world, and that was a little bit difficult there. You see it's sort of a bit spiky, it sort of makes you feel a bit spiky. And the fact is, I know that she was a twin, but don't worry about that. And then you get that, you see. I'm just demonstrating to you how you do it. You take that and you think, well, does that look smooth or a bit spiky? If it looks smooth to you, or you feel it's smooth, you can say, well, you came into the world quite smoothly. If it looks a bit spiky, you can say, I think there were some problems surrounding your birth. And then the person comes in and you see it's sort of curving round. Now, this person is about 60, shall we say. So about here is halfway mark, 30. So everything seems to go very smoothly for this person, but sort of curves round, and then suddenly there's a big sort of hook, as if something drastic happened to them. If you can see it, there's a sort of a drastic, it's not even a bend, it's sort of like almost a right angle in that. And you'd say that if that was 30, that's got to be about teenage, very early teenage, maybe about, 13 or thereabouts. Suddenly life took on a different aspect and but still goes along very smoothly. Look, it's a bit up and down there. It goes a bit up and down, but then we're galloping towards this, and there's a big surge of sort of some kind of interesting happenings round about the 20s, going up to the 30s. I hope you can see this. What I'm reading from is it's where the lace or the string sort of suddenly looks like a bit sort of like a wall, but it's like one of those sort of walls where you go on a motorbike, and you can sort of stay up. So whatever's gone on, this is sort of keeping her up and buoying her, keeping her going along. And then she turns a corner there and then meets somebody. I wonder who that was. Anyway, that looks as if somebody has met somebody there around about 30. And then there's another sort of burst of activity. It's still very smooth. It's interesting because you'll find some people don't have such smooth lines to their life in this string. But then it sort of turns back on itself again. Can you see that? So there you are. That's changing tack again. And I think this person was very, very, very busy. And in fact, look at that. We can say going towards sort of 40, shall we say. Look at that. It's like a switchback railway. Everything's sort of just gone upside down and round about. And it's all it could be thrilling, but it could also be frightening as well. So we have a mixture of excitement and fear and all sorts of different things going on, because there's sort of this big loop that looks like a switchback railway. And then it flattens out again, that's fortunate. And then as we trundle round, look, it's sort of flattened there. Again, like a sort of wall. So she's obviously being protected there. And there she goes round again, just like another go on that railway. One of those that goes up and down. And that goes right up to the heights. So that's really frightening, about maybe 5 years ago or so, but then sort of sweeps back down, and here we have this end, which is here and now, and we see that down on the ground, nice and calm and pointing forward. So that's the way to go. So that, you see, is how we would read for somebody from a piece of string. I hope that you all sort of managed to follow that, because you can do it yourself with practice. And of course the best thing about this kind of work is that you can get lots of practice, because lots of people will want you to read their string, because you can make it exciting and interesting. And the other thing is, you'll be surprised how accurate it is. And you see, the fact is that psychic work can be very accurate if you're giving a reading to somebody. But what you mustn't fall into the trap of is thinking that you can then tell them their future. Because, yes, everything that's happened in our past points to the way in which our future might pan out. However, it is only might. And, those of us who are sort of locked into quantum mechanics, quantum physics, which really is just another aspect of spiritualism, It's our kind of science. We know that there are paths of probability. So the fact is that, there are multiple probabilities based on what has gone before. So to predict what's going to happen to somebody in the future, based on the kind of past that they've had, is really wrong. Because there are various futures for all of us, and it's not fixed. The fact is that there are fixed points in our lives, but we're only told about them very, very rarely. And if you think about what you've been through up to now, it's probably just as well that nobody told your fortune, not really and accurately. Now then, here we are back on the old laces again. Well, you see, if I can read a lace for somebody, you can read anything that you can get hold of that's long and thin and wiggly. And I hope that you've enjoyed that so far. What I did say was that I would give a couple of readings for people as well. So I wonder if you would like me to have a go. If somebody would like me to, it says wave, so I think if I press it, hopefully it won't go off. Anyway, I am waving. What shall I tell you about? Karen. Okay. Right. Now, don't forget, this is a psychic reading. So I'll do it with this, okay, as this is what we've been using. So there we are. Here we go. Let's see. I would like something for Karen. So I'm going to do this and drop it. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but I can't even see. Oh, I see. Yes, all right. Oh, that's this end, is it? Okay. Right. So if you can see the pattern of this, I'll stick one finger on it so you can see, hopefully you can see, hopefully. Right, now I'll do a reading from that, okay? So imagine that, we're surrounded, well, we're in a tent, that's it, a tent, crystal ball, the string, I'm wearing a scarf, big earrings and everything, and you've crossed my palm with silver. Now then, I take this as the beginning of your life, which is tucked away under there. So I think that the way in which you came into the world was perhaps perhaps hidden from a few people. Maybe your mother was a very private person, Karen. This is for Karen, by the way. And your early life was quite smooth and protected in its own way. I feel that it's a little bit dodgy, I should say. So perhaps you had a few ups and downs when you were a child. But what I can see is a wonderful sweep of life for you. I don't know how old you are, Karen, but I'll put you as middle-aged. But in your until you were quite late teens, I would say that things were going along fairly well for you, although you had some stops and starts along the way, and possibly that was connected with your school and your education. Perhaps you weren't as happy as you might have been in that. And then we see that it turns a corner. So I think there that you've left your education and you're making your own way in life. And I feel then that you know very much here what you have. I'm going to turn my speaker off there because otherwise we're going to get bings and bongs all the time. And you see, we can stop and chat to people, even though we're doing this reading, because it is a psychic reading, and we can get back to it quite happily. It's not the same as having communication from spirit, where you have to keep that link. Now, here we go. You have had you get quite a good run there once you've left school, and you can see what you want to do, and oh dear. And then all of a sudden I see this barriers come up. Karen, I hope you're following this. and you'll say yes or no at some point or other. Right, and you're suddenly off on a different course, something that was quite unexpected, I think. Here we are, it suddenly comes up, woof, you've got a brick wall in front of you, and then you take that road, and then it starts to curve round, and you're thinking, how can I get back to myself? How can I achieve something for myself? And somehow or other you feel that you've been helped, maybe from outside, maybe from relatives or friends. You get some help, and you do actually turn round, you turn it all round, and start to make real progress. And I'd say that was probably about 10 years ago or so, and it looks like you've realised that you can do this, and there you go, and really you're on a sort of a real good pathway there. And of course you have lots of friends around you. You have some losses in your life around that time, but then it starts to all work out. And over the last, I'd say, this from here to here, probably the last 5 years or so haven't been so bad, and you're going along there. And here, which is the end, where you are now, is pointing you forward, and it's sort of zhoosh, you're on your way there. So Karen, sorry, was that interesting to you, and was that reasonably accurate? Can any of us see? Because I can't see anything at all. I can see who's watching, but no comments or anything. So I'm hoping, Karen, that when I go on to this and play it back, that I can see that there's been a comment there, like, go away, what rubbish. Oh, Karen, oh, there you are. Oh, spot on, Lynn. Oh, thank you for telling me. I'm always concerned at response. You know, I think that we should be. I think that we should look for validation from those that we are caring about enough to give them a reading, put it that way. So there we are. So there you are, Karen. All that is a shoelace. It's amazing, isn't it? We can all do it. This is not the deepest mystery of life. This is the fact that we are all psychic, and we're all able to tune in and have a bit of fun as well. Because sometimes, you know, psychic work also has an effect of giving us a mirror into ourselves. It gives us a reminder of who we are deep down, and it tells us about our memories that perhaps we've pushed away from ourselves. And so I think giving somebody a reading like that can be actually very helpful. I know that as the tutor in many a string reading workshop where people have given me a reading, it's always been accurate, and it's always been something that has sort of helped me on a bit, if you know what I mean. So it's not a bad thing at all. Now, if somebody else would like a string reading, I'll do the same thing for them. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Cross my palm with silver. Who would like a reading? Nobody. Not that I can see. So I'll just give a reading to... that's the other thing. You're not supposed to give readings to people who haven't asked for them, you know. Because it can be an intrusion. Oh, Tammy. Oh, okay. All right. And especially with... Oh, and so... hold on a minute now. Let's form an orderly queue. Oops. Now that's all fallen over. Obviously that's spirit activity knocking my telephone over. I must remember not to call it a telephone. Me phone. Right, here we go, Tammy. And here's the. You realise that this is going to be done for posterity. Now then, I'm going to hold this in my hand. You remember I said to you, abracadabra. There. And now I'm going to throw it. I'm going to loosen it a bit and throw it. Oh my goodness me. Now, I wonder if everybody can see that. This is for Tammy Hutchinson. Look. Oh dear, oh dear. If you see something like that, good luck. Now, this is somebody who has had the most extremely complicated life. You always get one, by the way. Now, we will say this is where she is at the minute, and if I could only find where she started out. Cunningly hidden right underneath this hole. Now, oh, she nearly shot into the world. There you are, Tammy, you shot into the world. You then looked as if you had a bit of a blip. It looked as if you were ill when you were small, because it sort of suddenly switches and it looks like you're sort of trying to go back almost. So I'd say, Tammy, that that you had an illness. I do, excuse me. And then you actually recovered. Well, obviously you did because you're here now, but you recovered, and to everybody's delight, I will say, it must be very boring for everybody not being able to see this. I hope you can see it a little bit. If I move it around, perhaps you can. This is a Christmas biscuit tin. So you see, Tammy recovered herself, was in good spirits, and then she seemed to well, it seemed to go down a little bit there, a bit downhill, I'm afraid. And I'd say that her childhood was a bit up and down, and possibly with some health problems, so probably not the strongest of children, Tammy. Now, then, whether you were taking a special diet or people taking special care of you, but suddenly, woof, off you went. There was no looking back. You were fine. Off you went really well. It's sort of like, it's like I've got a big loop upwards, okay? And that's what I'm getting from that. Big loop upwards. Oh, and then we sink down again. This is all emotional stuff, right? So it's doubling back on itself. So there you go, you're going round and round and round and round in circles, and you cannot. I think this is to do with your family, your parental family, that is, Tammy. And it looks to me as if you're very close, staying close, and trying to sort of be protected by them and keeping close to them as well. But then at some point, you go off on your own. You find your independence and you go off on your own. But, oh dear, you have a huge lift there, probably around about sort of in your 20s. And you seem to really know what you're doing, where you're going, but then it starts to go downhill again. And there's a lump in it, sort of a little hump. And I think that is that it probably signifies somebody that you were mixed up with, shall we say? It's a polite way of putting it. And it's possibly that there's a marriage involved there. And then it goes downhill very quickly. Lifts up a bit, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, which seems to be the story of your life, Tammy. Hope this is all right, saying all this in public, but you did ask. And then you trundle on, and you sort of you're managing to get out from under that marriage situation, and you are again protected from that, and protected. You have lots of help. this has been such a difficult journey for you. It's a wonder that you are still sane. There you are, I would say that, because there's so much going on in your life, and so many people all trying to have a slice of you, I would say, because this is so, you know, it's almost like you've been under siege from people, and people have wanted things from you, and you know, tried to tell you what to do, and you've been up and under all the time. You've managed to get away, and then here you're on the home straight. You have found somebody, you're happy, and it's just like you're on one of these day outs to the seaside. Off you go, and you're curving round here. You find that you have met somebody that you want to be with, and you've got some happiness there, as well as some ups and downs. And here it goes, and there you go, look, forging straight ahead. Not even your feet are not touching the ground. There we are, that is straight on. There. So, Tammy, how was that? Tammy will tell us in a minute, probably. Something, I hope. It's always nice to know a bit about somebody. There. And the other thing is that if you're doing psychic work, remember I had a little bit of a tickle in the throat there. I'm going to get my cup of tea. Just to wet my whistle, because psychic work makes you dry. Ah, Tammy, spot on. Oh, now we all know. But yes, as I was saying to you, psychic work makes you dry. Now, if you go to a spiritualist meeting, for instance, or even not a spiritualist meeting, but where mediums are working, and you go and watch a medium work, if you see them gulping vast amounts of fluid, like glasses of water for instance, you can bet that they are doing a lot of psychic work. So spirit contact, where we get communication from the world of spirit, they don't use our bodily fluids to do that. If we are using our psychic faculties, they are very much linked into our bodily fluids, our body systems. Okay, you know when you have a flight or fight hormone, adrenaline, yeah, you get a rush, get really dry, get a dry mouth when you're frightened or when you're really nervous of something. That is your body system responding to those stimuli. Now, spirit work doesn't rely on your body system, okay? So you can do a whole hour's worth of mediumship. I don't recommend more than that, but an hour's worth of mediumship, contact with the world of spirit. You will never need a drink of water. You might want one just for wetting the whistle to speak, but you don't need to replenish anything fluid because they ain't using it. If you see somebody guzzling away at the water, bet your boots they're giving you psychic readings. And aren't they accurate? That's the point. You can be as accurate as you like. Now, I never heard anything from spirit in any of that. I know that my guides and helpers are with me, of course, but they were not telling me anything. I was not listening to anything from over there. I was only listening to my gut instinct, my gut response, my psychic intuition. Nothing to do with them over there. So I really would suggest that to you, that it's something to add to your little repertoire of knowledge, that when you are watching a medium work, if they start guzzling away at the water or anything else, nah, it's psychic. Now, there's nothing to say there's anything wrong with being psychic, it's good fun, and as you know, it can be very accurate. But there is a difference between psychic work and mediumistic work. There you are. One is all to do with spiritual and spirit, and the other is to do with physical and intuition and gut responses. There. So we've had 2 readings. You've had a lecture. I won't really ask you any questions on it because you're not in a workshop with me. Aren't you lucky you're not sitting right next to me and I'm going to ask you to do it yourself? But I do hope that you found this really interesting. And I think Sam said that, Samantha said that you would like a reading too. And I'll close with one to Samantha, who asked. And I hope that you will all have a go at this, because it's such fun. And you won't be short of people who ask you to do it for them either, once you get a reputation for doing it. But don't forget, it's all psychic. Now then. Now, Karen, I would love to have a go. Yes, you can have a go. Look, you just get, what you do, look. Here it is. It's just a lace. Take a lace out. I couldn't find a piece of string. I was going to give a string workshop. A string workshop without string. What do? You improvise. Shoelaces, bootlaces, anything. Tape measure it. No, not a tape measure. That's 36 inches long, isn't it? Or a metre. Forget I said that. Right. So I'm going to now. And do you see City of Helsinki make decision skating? Wow. Passy, I'll I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you afterwards. I'll message you, or you'll message me on Facebook, please. And we'll speak about the ice. I would be so interested. But right now, I'm going to give a string reading to Samantha, who's requested it, because it was ice skating that brought me to this way of life as a spiritualist. That's another story. But I do have that story actually on my website, which is www.lynguestdeswalt.com, because that was my name before. It was Gibb-de, lynguestdeswalt.com. And I talk about how the ice brought me to spiritualism. But here we are, look. Now I'm clutching this, Samantha, for you. Now I'm going to loosen it a bit. Oh, there we are. Now, can you see this? Can you see this shape? I'll take that as now, and this on top here as where you were born. Okay? Right. So, Samantha, I see that your birth was wanted. You were a wanted child, and there was nothing stopping you. So you must have been quite healthy as a baby, and not too much trouble to your parents. And off you went. In you came to live your life. And oh, how wonderful! You look. This is really uplifting. The first few years of your life, wonderful. But all of a sudden, it drops down. But then, having hit the floor, as it were, it then goes along very, very steadily, and then again, it's like a switchback. It goes up. Again, you get a wonderful period of time of your life, where I think you meet some wonderful people, and you must have been very loved and liked and popular. And I think it's also that it makes a big circle, and I'd say that that circle signifies you with your friends and family being very close. And I also feel that it signifies something very, very important in your life, meeting somebody very important to you. and that's what I think that wonderful circle is. And I think also you felt at that time very close to somebody who was in the spirit world. So somebody must have perhaps passed over, and you must have been very aware of them. Now, you come back to Earth rather, and carry on. Again, there are some quite uplifting times there. This goes up, the lace is going up like this, and is lifted up, and there were some difficulties that you got over, and then there are some other twists and turns in your pathway, until suddenly you came up against a real problem, and again, however, you were protected and helped very much, and you must have felt loved in the midst of it all. And then again, you've been you were a little bit down, but your spirits were lifted, your life was lifted. Here it comes up, you see, it's off the ground, it's wonderful. And again drops down. So obviously you had a few difficulties there. That's really strange. It's sort of crisscrossed. It's almost like it was something that threw you back to your own youth. You had to find some resources from somewhere, and you drew upon experiences from your own childhood and your own youth, and you need that very much. And I feel also that you found consolation in some religious practices as well at that time, so you were drawn very much to spirituality through that. And what's happened then is that you have just forged ahead and felt much calmer, much happier, and you have a much more optimistic outlook than you had. I think you got rather depressed at this particular time, but you found this extra oomph from spirituality. And also I must say that you have got wonderful help from a person that you're actually with. So you have a lot of love as well, wonderful amount of love there in your life, which actually holds you up. So you have this material, earthly love from somebody here that really helps you, and you also have this spiritual aspect of love as well, and this person embodies both, and you're very, very fortunate, I would say. And then I see you zooming ahead, smooth as you like a wonderful smoothness here, and everything is pointing ahead. Look, there you are. See, I'm not. That's what it's showing. So, I'd say, Samantha, that you have right now, this minute, you have optimism, and you know that you are doing all the right things there. So how was that, Samantha? Now, that was it. That was all it was. My shoelace. So Samantha, she'll let us know, I think, if some of that was accurate. Now, you know that you can do this yourself, and you just have to relax and just read. Oh, spot on. Oh, good. But it just shows you, I could have said, listen to this one, I could have said, my spirit guides, Big Chief Soda Water, is telling me all of this from the world of spirit. I'd be lying, actually. But unfortunately, some people do do stuff like that. But now we know better, don't we? So now you've had my string reading workshop. You're a fully fledged string reader now. Certificates, virtual certificates will be sent out to everybody who's watched and taken part. And you know, the criteria is that you must do 3 accurate string readings with somebody, and then you get a super duper gold leaf embossed certificate. But it's only a virtual one, okay? So I say God bless to all of you, and I hope that you've enjoyed that little interlude with me, a little psychic interlude, and that you will not look at a piece of string or a pair of shoelaces in the same way ever again. There. So now you have joined the hundreds and hundreds of people who've attended my string workshops, and and I hope you enjoyed it. This is such an awful time for human race, isn't it? And we need to do what we can to lift our spirits, and if a little bit of psychic stuff helps, why not? There. So I say God bless to all of you. It's been really good fun. Thank you for being my friends out there, because I'm always aware that I have so many friends. It's just wonderful. Thank you. And keeps me going, of course, in our isolation here. But of course, as you can imagine, as a medium, and those of you who are mediums, we're never alone. And I can assure all of you, from whatever faith or religion or none, whether you're mediumistic or not, you know, you have friends on the other side of life, your relatives, who all love you and are rooting for you at this time, and they know that you know, the earth is in dire straits at the moment, but everything will be all right. So there, I'll say goodbye for now, and I will think again about what other psychic workshop I might do with you. Maybe some flower readings. That's a good one. I can teach you how to read a flower. There. So that will be the next one. So God bless you all. Have a good day.